Good morning, guys. Today I bring you a video about a little bit of my trampoline. So first of all, this project started last year. I met up with my friend in Mississippi named Taylor Martin, aka Tato. I'll put his Insta right here. And we went to a tramp park and they gave me Eurospring while we were there. And I said to myself, I wonder how I can make this Eurospring fit on my trampoline. So I made my frame bigger and I had double amount of springs, so I linked two springs together and I started with that. I started with double linked springs and double crossed, and I actually did my first quad back on that setup, by the way. You can go check that video out on my Instagram. It's like way down there. It's September 24th, I think, is when I posted that. And it evolved a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if I could just get max air springs instead of having these two 6-inch springs linked together and double crossed. And I did get the max air springs. They were $6 a spring, and I got 98 of them. And it was still a little too tight for me, so I had to come up with a way to make them looser. And I had triple amount of V-rings that I needed, so I simply took another V-ring and hooked it to the V-ring on the mat. And then I did that all the way around. It was a long, hard process on my fingers, but I did it. And then it was too loose. So then I went and turned all the V-rings, and that was another long, hard process on my fingers, but I did it, and it's pretty good. But I still wasn't quite happy with it NDB, so I came up with like a power bounce, kind of like how alley-oop does, but like a little bit different. I didn't exactly steal their whole concept. I changed it a little bit, and I came up with a power bounce, and it worked pretty well. So my mom was a little concerned about our safety, so she told me I had to come up with a way to make my net higher. And I actually had two trampolines, so I took the net poles off of that one and kind of connected them to make my net poles, I don't know, maybe 2 feet higher. And then I had two nets, so I like kind of got zip ties and hooked the nets together so it covered the whole like depth of the trampoline. And my springs are 11.5 inches or 11 inches, I can't really remember. So bottoming out was of course an issue. What I did was I raised the trampoline and I dug out underneath it. That took a couple days. And like now I don't have any problems anymore. Like all I do is I don't have to change the net or fix the raised setup or whatever, dig out more. It's just all like still. Now all I gotta do is wait for December 12th. That is the official return of purple. I'm very excited about that. And I'm really hoping that I get my hands on an alley-oop rectangle. Alley-oop and like all these other rectangle tramps, they're actually better than my circle, okay? Yeah, Acon rectangle, better than purple tramp, circle. So enough talking. I'm going to now show you my setup and everything. So yeah. So here's what it looks like. This is all the springs. There's like the little power bounce setup. That's with the Euros. But this is like my power bounce setup. And I've got them every so often. It's actually part of my inverse diamond setup that I did my second quad back on, and like I overshot quad back. My first overshot was on that setup too. And then here's the net poles. They're pretty high, and I'm gonna hop down and show y'all how I raised the tramp and dug out and all that good stuff. All right, so I simply like got some wooden bricks and stacked them up. This is raised. That's raised. That's a pillow. I never made it back inside. This is what the underneath side of my trampoline looks like. Got the hole. It's a pretty good distance. Hey Kennelly, come stand under here. Okay. For a YouTube video. Go stand right in the middle. Okay. Yeah. There we go. That's how deep I dug. And then here's a spring. And as you can see, I turned the V-ring. Oh man, that was not straight. Here's a spring. And then as you can see, I turned the V-ring.
Watch this.
Whoa, that's sick, Kenny. And then here's half of an inverse diamond from my old setups. I used to have this on top all the way around, but stretched out a little bit more. I just took it and put it underneath for power bounce. And it's pretty good. It's pretty soft. Yeah. It's pretty soft, but it's not the softest I've ever done or whatever. This inverse V all the way around, that was the softest. It's just the inverse V, it gave you no power. Like, it was so long and elastic, but there's no snap. With this, there's a snap, and it gives you power. And that was my biggest like push to get max air springs. So yeah, if you still have any questions, just like ask, I guess, and if I see it, I'll reply. And follow me on Instagram. Thank you for watching this. I know I didn't do the best at explaining it, but that's all I could come up with. But I just recommend getting an alley-oop rectangle because that's still better than this. It took me, I think, 3 tries to land trip back, NDB, NTB, but like I could stomp it every time on an alley. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Pieces.